Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? It's been a while. Welcome back to Torq Fire podcast. Komal Taya, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and you look like a peach today.
Because I'm wearing peach color. That's very creative of you, Komal Taya.
Yeah, peach reminds me of Ginny in Georgia.
Jenny and Georgia, the second season we are waiting for.
Yeah.
Desperately.
I'm crazy fan of Ginny and Georgia. I've been stalking their GNG BTS page on Instagram.
BTS? What?
Yeah.
That band BTS?
They have this verified GNG means Ginny and Georgia. BTS means behind behind the scene or behind the show, whatever it is. So they have this Instagram verified page. So that means that is their official. They keep posting their stories, and I just keep checking on the comments if they're replying to anyone.
But I think you're not that big of a Jenny and Georgia fan. More of a Georgia fan, isn't it?
Yes. I'm more of a Georgia's person.
All right.
Yeah. So I've been waiting for a year now, and the filming has been done in April. And now the production, maybe editing and all is in work.
Okay.
And maybe by the end of 2022, they'll release it, hopefully. And just now I read an article before recording this podcast, one article from maybe any house, I don't remember the name. So they said that it is good. They are finding some dates for Netflix calendar so that they can just release a trailer and all. And they are finding the dates. So hopefully... maybe
within
soon,
this year, right?
2-3 months, or by the end of 2022.
Okay, Jenny and Georgia, catch it up on Netflix. How about the film production or the movies that are produced in our country? The Rocketry.
Rocketry, yeah, I know.
You should know about it.
Yeah.
We checked out the first day first show.
We obviously went there, but I just thought that you are asking me about the current scenario of movies and all.
Yeah.
So I'm not that much into all these movies.
Okay.
But Rocketry, I'm deep.
Okay. So we do not have the book over here, which we should. Actually, it's there. Maybe you can pick it up. So what was it? It was Friday. I don't remember the exact date. And we checked out the first show. We were all pumped up and we have been doing it. We have been trying to get a hold of it or seeing when the movie is going to be released for the past 2 years or so. Ever since I think the first trailer was released close to where Mission Mangal was released. And we have been waiting for it for a long time. And right there only, at least I know by the end of 2019, almost everyone who was interested got a hold of this book. We started getting into it, like what was the whole matter. And we were thinking that the reason why the movie is getting so much delayed is maybe some clearance from ISRO, because they actually use the name of ISRO, unlike Mission Mangal.
Yeah.
So obviously that would involve some clearances. And then again, obviously a controversial case. No, it's not, because he has been awarded with Padma Bhushan and all. And the case is clear.
But the further case is going on where they are just finding the actual person who is behind the espionage case and everything.
Yeah.
Who implicated Nambisa.
Got it.
Yeah.
So maybe we were thinking that maybe that's the reason, but we found out that no, actually it's the film production problem and directors switching hands and not much people getting interested. See, it's kind of really remarkable what R. Madhavan did by releasing this movie, because like I was saying that there's no movie on Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam yet, or that Mission Mangal was literally the first movie in space science and engineering in this country. And to get a movie on this person or a real life story, then that is really difficult, right?
Yeah.
For example, that book Wings of Fire has obviously been for a long time, and then History of ISRO by Armudan has been there for a long time. There's been a book by UR Rao also. So he writes more on the direction of satellites, because if you do not know, there's a center, the main center in Bangalore, UR Rao, right? That was initially named ISAC. Recently they changed it into URSC. Okay, anyways, so the movie was really, really commendable and we enjoyed it a lot. It is the best space science movie ever produced. Rocket Boys did a pretty good job. It is also kind of recent, the series.
But you found Rocket Boys a little bit maybe bland.
They tried to dramatize it.
Yeah.
But this guy, R. Madhavan, does not want to dramatize it at all.
Exactly.
And he wants to stick to the facts, stick to the technology, because we are not just talking about any other technology. We are not talking
Yeah.
about cell phones over here. We are talking about the most cutting edge technology in this world, and that is
Yeah.
rocket science.
We have to give it to
Yeah.
Nambi sir also, because every scene was, was given like green flag by
Yeah.
Nambi sir itself.
Yeah.
And every the color of smoke also. Like that was taken care of.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything, dates, locations. And another fascinating thing about this movie was that most of people know Nambi sir because of the espionage case. They don't know the outstanding achievements he was holding, and he's still holding.
Yeah.
Like he has been the first person from ISRO who entered IV.
Oh, all right. So
Yeah.
I was not aware of that. Well, can you really say that?
Yeah,
Because
it was mentioned in movie also, right? He was the first person.
I'm not sure about that because
He went to Princeton.
Satish Dhawan himself was from Caltech. So maybe you were not knowing about that, and Caltech is certainly IV. So that is why today.
Maybe from ISRO.
See, Satish Dhawan was not an employee of ISRO. Like, he took the role of chairman.
Later on, maybe after studying over there, and then he came over here.
Oh yeah,
But,
so
yeah, he was
so
the first from
no,
ISRO.
no, that is true. So when he went to Princeton, at that time Satish Dhawan was not there. So obviously he came later, although he was a senior.
Yeah.
So he joined like a lateral, direct to the higher post. So that might be a fact that he is the
And
first.
also a lot of missions was like very strictly and very closely examined and very closely taken care by Nambi sir only. And we would have maybe 30 years in future in space science and technology if he would have continued
Okay.
without this without these accusations and all.
Yeah. So see, we are not going to bring any spoilers over here, like what really happened. We want you to check the movie out. But when it comes to authenticity, this movie, I do not think can have any second parallel. Like, even if you check out the most authentic World War II movies or some revolution movies, you are always going to find dramatization, and directors kind of have to do a lot of shit to get common people involved. But I do not think that they were having any such ambitions over here. Like, even the scenes that you would think is dramatized is actually written line by line in this book by Nambi Nayan himself. So there's nothing which is just there for the sake of getting your attention. And this movie did horribly when it comes to the revenue that it made, right? Which is really sad. What was the total amount that it has made so far? You may be knowing the numbers. It is at the lower end.
27 crore or something, maybe 1 or 2 days back.
Yeah.
And
investment and the budget was close to
60 crore.
Yeah. So you can see that people are facing like lakhs of crores in loss, but still making masterpieces. This movie, I think people will realize the value of this movie is like 30 years later,
Down the
40
line.
years later, what he did. And this is kind of a sacrifice that you have to open the gates. There are so many people, like, obviously all due respect to Nambi Nayan sir, but what he did, being involved with Vikas Engine, then being involved with cryogenics, then being involved to some extent in semi-cryogenics. There are a lot of scientists, lot of other scientists who have been awarded with Padma Bhushan and all. I have had the opportunity to sit in front of them, and when they start talking, all you get is goosebumps after goosebumps. The stories that they talk about, like what was ISRO in the 70s and the 80s. And there's so many hidden stories that we are not aware of because we are too busy making those love story movies, which does not even exist, by the way.
Yeah, speaking of the love stories, when R. Madhavan pitched this movie in front of producers, they were like, how many item songs are there? How many romantic songs are there? Okay.
How much money are we going to make?
Yeah, and all this bullshit. And nobody took this movie as a producer. So R. Madhavan came in front and he said, I'll be producing this movie. And when the director, things with directors didn't work out at the last moment, and he also dropped the project. So ultimately R. Madhavan just said in impulsive manner that okay, I'll direct it.
By the way, a lot of movies would be in this situation. Like, a lot of movies would have started like in general, and somewhere along the line would die out because it is just not working out, right?
That happens with a lot of movie. And here the actor is R. Madhavan, writer,
Director.
producer, director, everything he is.
Yeah,
and he has done commendable job. Like, we have to give it to him for keeping it so authentic, so original, and nothing, you'll not find it something which the patriotism is forced or something like that.
It is not a patriotic movie at all.
Exactly.
Sometimes you might even
It's a
feel
reality,
that sometimes you might even feel that it is anti-national, which I do not want to get into that word, but it sometimes tries to show like this is what is happening to scientists of this country. So obviously I don't want to talk about the end scenes because that would be kind of spoiler alert, but we all know the story. So if you do not know the story, which is kind of possible, right? Because we talk about this thing to a lot of our friends and they said that who is Nambi Narayan. So maybe we would take some time to explain it. So see, Nambi Narayan sir joined ISRO in the initial days. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, started in the early 1960s. It basically started with Vikram Sarabhai sending 6 of the scientists from India to NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, close to that, to start the work with sounding rockets or trying to find out the variation in atmosphere, getting some data, low altitude rockets, which are basically mainly relying on solid boosters. And then when ISRO was just developing up, growing its wings around, they started recruiting, hiring engineers all around the country. And that's where Nambi Narayan left his job. I think it was something related to sugar production, somewhere around Tamil Nadu, Kerala region. And then he left that job and gave an interview for Indian Space Research Organization. At that time, obviously it was not called Indian Space Research Organization, it was called INCROSPAR. I'll write the full form on the screen if you need it. So he just decided to give the interview based on what he saw on the newspaper advertisement. That's how it used to happen even till the early 2000s. So he just went over there, and who took his interview was none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was one of the panelists. I would like to say the other one was Vikram Sarabhai. I'm not sure, I read it, I'm kind of forgetting, but APJ Abdul Kalam was definitely one of them. And he got in. So he was like kind of hardcore engineer, fascinated by engineering. He joined in and started working. Now, this is something that has always been said about him by him from the initial days also, that he knew that the next level of rocket propulsion is going to happen with liquid propulsion. Solid boosters, if you do not know, see, it gives a lot of thrust. That is why the lower stages of a rocket, you are always going to find solid boosters most of the time. Obviously, there are examples like what SpaceX is doing right now or what Russia has been doing with Soyuz. But if you look at GSLV Mark III, the 2 boosters are solid. PSLV has the base as solid boosters. GSLV Mark II has the core stage as solid booster, S139, I think. So solid boosters are very important, and the technology is much simpler. So basically, for a layman term, if you think about it, it is just like the Diwali rocket, what you do. So it is having a lot of chemicals, right? Barood, what we say in Hindi. So it will you light it and it will catch fire. Obviously, there are some complexities that how you're going to arrange these material. But basically, once you light an explosive material, it is going to create explosive gases and it is going to be propelling at one direction and your rocket is going to propel on the opposite direction. This is just conservation of linear momentum. But this is not sufficient for you to reach higher Earth orbits because this burns very fast. So it is an explosive reaction, right? So the burn time of solid boosters are very short. But on the opposite, liquid engines does not give as much thrust, but it gives longer burn time. Like you are going to see hundreds of seconds of burn time. So because of this, what happens when you reach higher Earth atmosphere, the atmosphere density decreases. So you don't really need thrust. Sometimes when you are in vacuum, you'll just need newtons of thrust, not even tons that we are talking in the lower atmosphere. So in the higher atmosphere, when you have reached that part, maybe using the solid booster, now you can propel further with liquid boosters, which, not boosters, but you can say liquid engines, which is not going to give as much thrust, but it is going to give a longer burn time, which increases even further when you're talking about cryogenic engines. Semi-cryogenic is something different. It comes in between cryogenic and your Earth's durable liquid engines.
Yeah.
So that was his idea in the 60s and the 70s on what Indian Space Research Organization is working on right now in 2022. You must have seen a PSLV launch recently took place that has a Vikas engine, which is, by the way, named by Nambi Narayan. Yeah, a lot of people initially thought that Vikas means development. That is why ISRO's development is going to be signified by this engine, but it was nothing.
Let's not give a spoiler over there how it was named.
All right.
Yeah,
but
it's in the movie.
Yeah, correct. But he has also talked about it in a speech in IIT Madras, so maybe they checked it out.
Nobody would have.
All right. Maybe you're not that big of a fan. But the point is that we are talking about a scientist who was involved with ISRO with the early stages, and he has seen the solid stages. He has seen the inception of the organization, then worked with the first liquid engine of ISRO, then has worked towards cryogenic engine, and he wanted to get into semi-cryo engines in the future as well. But cryogenic also, he was not able to develop. He was not able to see those days because in 1994, the espionage whole thing happened where he was just arrested all of a sudden out of a case which is having no base.
Yeah, like it was like the most baseless case, right?
Yeah.
By the way, whatever Ashish has talked about was majorly not portrayed in the movie, like how Nambi sir got the job at ISRO and how he started working, all these things. That was not portrayed, so we are not giving you any spoilers.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping me about all that, what I was saying.
Yeah. Because those were like very goosebumps moments, what you were discussing. And because that was very crucial part.
Yeah.
Right? I still remember the time also, the tank volume also, how it was decreasing and all.
All right. Great. Yeah. So we are talking about a scientist which has been over there, and the most important fact which will just prove what a patriot he was is that he got an offer from NASA. NASA wanted to do everything that was possible to keep him in United States of America. He completed his 2 years of master in just like 9 to 10 months. And the problem at that time was that we cannot give you a master when your duration is even less than a year. And then what happened is that they just started to give him tours around NASA, show them the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and their high-tech facilities, and show them these facilities so that he is more inclined towards staying over here.
Yes.
But that never happened. It was not shown in movie, but I'll tell you, Vikram Sarabhai just calls him and says that you come back to India right now. Because that was the opposite of what Vikram Sarabhai was doing at that time. He was getting even people who were of Indian birth, who were of Indian background, and were working in organizations like NASA. He convinced a lot of them to come back to India.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So he was like the kind of person who was just fantastic at making connections. Like he had connections in Japan, he had connections in France, he had connections in Germany, he had connections in United States.
Russia also.
He had connections in Russia. Like at the time where mainly 3 space powers were there: France, United States, and Russia. United Kingdoms tried to start something in the late 1960s, but US just indulged and said that you do not need to do it because we are allies, so you're just duplicating our efforts. So whatever UK was having was very similar to US. Russia was having their own, and France was doing their own, which is a story which we'll be discussing some other day. But mainly 3 space powers, but Vikram Sarabhai was having connections with all of them.
Yes.
But then unfortunately he passed away very early in the career of Nambi Narayan.
Yeah, that is also very tragic. Homi Bhabha,
66 and then
Vikram Sarabhai,
very soon after that.
All tragic deaths, right?
Yeah. So this is the history of technology and science of this country, and we don't know about that. You should know about what happened in the 20th century in India, which made us the power that India is today. It is because of people who worked straight up in churches and outside in field. You can even see pictures in which ISRO's rockets, initial rockets, are being carried in bullock carts. Yeah. They went straight to a place which is literally a jungle right now, and they created a launch pad over there.
So Ashish, do you think that the earlier maybe 60s to 90s era was more booming and was more efficient than the current era at ISRO?
No, definitely not. Because it's not like ISRO has ever slowed down. See, there were few failures and there were some partial success, but it's okay. That's like actually a failure in a space organization. Even if it is a failure, like your rocket blasts off or launch pad is destroyed, it is never really a failure because success rate in space launches are extremely low anyways. It is like 1/6 or something.
Yeah.
It's extremely low, and that is not a problem, so we are going to keep it aside. Or frequency of launch, that does not show much, but when it comes to technology, it is going ahead continuously. But globally, the funding of space powers or space organizations have been reduced anyways after the Cold War ended. So not only India, even you would say a drop in the pace in NASA's budget. Now it is again picking up to get back to moon and all, or now because of SpaceX. But in general, if you look at Roscosmos, Russia's space program, the last rocket, what you can see, the most stable one that is still working is Soyuz, that is still from the 20th century.
Okay, you have worked at ISRO and you still guide people who aim to join ISRO. So do you see the same zeal and enthusiasm in them as people, like the senior
Like
people
employees.
or employees, you can say the current employees or the future aspirants? Do you see the same zeal to learn the rocket science and not do it just because the fame ISRO has gotten in recent years?
See, I'll just not be diplomatic over here because I have
Yeah.
no connections with ISRO right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to speak the truth. Now, before working in ISRO, I've worked in Department of Atomic Energy.
Yeah.
I've done internships in corporate sector and other government jobs as well, which shows me the work culture. One thing that I can say without a doubt that I've not seen such enthusiastic employees anywhere else. Now, when I say all the enthusiastic employees, I do not mean all the employees, never. But the percentage of enthusiastic employees is maximum at Indian Space Research Organization. That I can say without doubt. I have seen boys who will wake up early and get to work at 6 o'clock and stay over there till 12 o'clock and sometimes overnight as well. That does not happen in any other organization, government or private, in this country, at least whatever I've seen out of the 10 to 12 organizations that I've been in. With that said, ISRO has become more of expansive in nature. So it is a big organization right now. It's not like what we had in 60s or 70s where it was working like a startup. ISRO is India's first proper startup. It later got funding from Government of India. Vikram Sarabhai has put his own money in the initial days because he could afford that. But you cannot expect that same thing to happen right now because it has gained that much amount of fame and now it is like a proper gazetted officer post. Obviously there will be a lot of people who are just hunting for that job because of the gazetted officer post and ISRO's tag. Like I saw a comment today itself that I studied commerce. Can I join ISRO? Why the hell would you want to join ISRO if you studied commerce? Because ISRO is all about science and technology. Even the management posts are taken by scientists over there. So why did you first study commerce if you want to join ISRO, right? So a lot of people are just looking at the tag of it, which is true for all the prestigious jobs of any place in this world actually.
Yeah, that's my main concern. Whenever someone who is from completely entirely different stream and they ask me also, like maybe because I'm related to you somewhere, so they ask me also like if they can join ISRO if they are from like arts background or something like that. So this makes me wonder that where are we heading to? Like, do you, like, I always say this thing, love your subject. Like these exams and all, ISRO exam, GATE exam, whatever it is, all type of exams. First, start loving your subject because ultimately that will be tested in the interview. Maybe you can just pass this written exam, but you first have to learn. You should learn your subject the way nobody understand or can teach someone.
Yeah.
You should know it in the best way. You can vouch on that I know my subject.
There's a huge problem in India when it comes to exams, competitive exams. including IITs, ranging to all the SSC, JEE, GATE, Engineering Services Examination, and what happens after that examination.
Yeah.
Most of the students who are preparing for these exams have no clue what happens afterwards. And that was to a huge extent for me as well. I was not aware of what is the ISRO's culture, or I knew the technology. I chose that technology that I want to work in this domain, so I'm going to give this examination. I was smart with that. I'm not just preparing for, let us say, engineering services, which was very dominant amongst engineering graduates at that time. But I was not aware how things actually work. I was not aware that it is going to take years for you to get involved with anything which is very serious or get any, contribution.
That is understandable to some extent, but you had a very severe inclination towards rocket science. That was true, right?
Yeah.
But people don't have that. They just want to be a part of. They just want to be part of that organization just for the name of it.
See, the biggest problem that we both know about is that most of the Indians do not know what they want to do with their life, but still choose to do graduation anyways after they have completed their senior secondary.
I think the best way, like nowadays, the pattern has started changing, and you should go for whatever stream you are interested in.
There's too much information these days. I'm clueless how still there are kids who does not know whether they want to prepare for this job or not. Like, I'm clearly talking about what is the work culture at ISRO, what is the work culture at BARC. There have been people who have been talking about what is the work culture at Engineering Services. Gaurav Joshi talked everything about how Indian Railways works, and there are others like ONGC, NTPC. They are all talking about it openly. So how come you're still not aware?
Yeah.
And obviously the last generation is a big problem as well, because they are not going to listen what is the work culture, or what is the environment, or what is the technology that you're working with. They just want the tag. They want their kids to have the tag of engineering services, which is changing obviously, but can we say that it has been eliminated? No, parents are still governing what is the tag that you should be going for.
Yeah, it's changing, like definitely it's changing in metro cities, but when we
metro
look down,
cities is gone.
Yeah, but when we look down on this ground level, it's still there. It still exists. We can't even say that it's reducing. It's almost same, I feel.
Yeah.
Because I think it will take time to reach and to get the word spreaded over there, maybe by 20-30 years down the line.
Yeah, and I think the YouTube is a big one to create the change.
Amazing.
What else created the change? I don't think anything else. There's not been a platform. Facebook does not change anything in this world. Instagram did not change shit in this world. Maybe for photographers, few photographers, maybe they got famous because of Instagram. But YouTube is a platform that is really bringing reality to the world, like what's really
Google
going
also
on.
changed.
Yeah, you can see what is the work culture in Google. I've seen so many vlogs that a day in my life. They're showing exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
So you got a clear picture. So you're not getting in blindly. That was the case in 2016, 17, 18. Before the whole internet, I think 3G boom. Yeah, that was the 3G. When 3G came, or maybe it was 4G, I do not know. But 17, 18, this was the time where YouTube was hitting just every corner.
Yeah.
Like now you see even people on the street doing like construction work, and they will be having YouTube in their phone.
Yeah.
It happens. Like everyone has it now.
Yeah, my mom knows Karl Lock.
Our mom now knows who is Karl Lock.
And I was telling her, see mom, this is the vlog of Karl Lock. And she was like, I know him.
No, I already know about it.
Okay.
Don't tell me things that I already
straight
know.
on my face. Not the real slap, the virtual one.
Don't you underestimate your parents, because now they know.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, I would really be happy if people start choosing the field that they're interested in, or at least even if they do not know what they're interested in, because that's a big one. I need to see some effort that you want to find out what you're interested towards. Asking you to know exactly what you want to do with your life when you're 18 is kind of too much, because that's not even like 1/5 of your life. So obviously it is difficult, but what are you doing about it? Like, see, if you do not know anything like what I want to do, maybe you can get into engineering and try to explore. But then again, there are some people who would like to close their eyes. They never pay attention towards what they're interested in. And even if they find out what they're interested in, I know a person who's working in IOCL and he keeps on showing me his paintings and all. I said, why don't you make a career out of it?
Yeah.
He said that, how am I going to make a career out of painting? I'm like, dude, there are people who are making careers out of dancing. There are people who are making careers out of reviewing movies. You can make career out of anything. It's not an excuse anymore. You have to be active, like maybe develop a website.
Maybe you can just start by doing it as a part-time.
Yeah,
once it gains
that's how
momentum,
all the passions are converted to career.
Yeah,
if you think that you would be sent to a school and get 4 years of training in that and then you are going to make it a career, that does not happen, especially with artistic things.
Exactly.
Right? So you need to take a step, and that's what is really lacking.
Exactly, Ashish. So for Rocketry movie, you should go. You should definitely go. You'll just miss the this amazing chance of seeing it on the big screens. Otherwise,
Missed
you'll
it?
lose it.
It's gone?
No, you'll miss it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
you'll miss
if you're
it. Don't
not
you
going
miss it,
for it,
guys.
you'll miss it by just seeing it on the big screens. Otherwise, you just have to watch it on your laptop or something, and then you'll be like, okay, I should have watched it on screens.
Yeah.
And today, my friend Nidhi, she was asking me like, how was the movie when I watched it? I'm like, amazing, you should go and watch it. She didn't know that much. I'm just guessing, I don't know. But today she watched it and just shared the poster of movie again. I was like, how was the movie? Did you like it? She was like, I was crying.
All right. See, she does not know anything about rocket science, right?
Yeah.
We were talking to her and she was not aware of Nambinayan as well.
Yeah.
And she's from chemistry background, correct?
No.
Bioscience background. Microbiology background. She enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So definitely go ahead and check it out, guys.
Yeah, it's completely real stuff and you'll like it. Every scene is real, authentic, and you'll see, okay, this happened in real, and nothing is superficial, and you'll love it to the core.
Yeah. Later, when I found out that it is getting less tickets and all, it really...
Yeah, on the first day, a lot of shows, it got cancelled because there was zero occupancy. Like, I remember we went over there and there was only one journalist sitting right in front of us and two boys or girls, I don't know, two people in behind in the very back seats. That's all.
Minus the journalist, 4 people who actually came to see it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. But anyways, that is the reality of movies that are really good. For example...
I was just, very much taken aback by the fact that Mission Mangal got a really good reach.
It's definitely
why it's not
multiple
creating
times
the
better.
magic?
Yeah.
Why it's not
It's also
making this
post-COVID,
way?
Komal. Post-COVID, the movie culture has reduced.
Bhool Bhulaiya did great.
Yeah.
It was
Filled.
houseful.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So, if movies like KGF and all where things are superficial, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that when things are superficial, so people are giving so much love to that type of content where it is needed. Like where it is needed in reality, you're not showing that much love because you will be discouraging that type of content in future. Nobody would be daring to make that type of content in future, and you'll be missing out on stuff, and you will be the only one who will be complaining India don't do much. India doesn't do much on the space science and this very scientific kind of movies.
Yeah, speaking of like kids finding out about reality or not, these movies are also something that we did not have when we were choosing what stream that we want to study. Now you have it, and kids are not going to watch this. They definitely will run to watch KGF too.
Yeah.
They will run to watch RRR and all. They'll steal money to watch those movies. But these movies go like vacant.
And although I don't know why people are saying that, some people are saying it's boring or something like that. Some people are reviewing it, falsely reviewing it. Maybe because there's...
It's all paid.
Yeah.
So there's a big amount of politics that goes around. We all are aware of that.
Like that happens. Politics is everywhere. And when that much money is involved, so you can see the level of politics involved everywhere. I'm not saying over here only. So I think it's our responsibility to support such a real movie, such an inspirational movie. You should go and watch it definitely and it's a family movie. You can ask your parents, no vulgar scene, nothing. It's very clean. You'll love it and your family will also love it.
Yeah. All right.
R. Madhavan, you should watch it. I've promoted your movie several times, right from the very teaser and very poster. It just hit the screen.
What R. Madhavan should watch it?
Watch this podcast.
Oh,
I have
no,
promoted
no.
it so badly. Like from the very first day, like when the teaser hit, trailer hit, I'm just putting stories, pumping people up that you should watch it. Like this is full of that, no shit, everything is real. You should go and watch it. You should ask your friends to go and watch it.
You need to get
find
more
them.
famous, Komal, to get him watching our podcast. But guys, there's a big news coming up, which is really going to be exciting about Komal Taya. We're not going to talk about it right now, but everything is fixed. We are going to talk about it. Let's fix a date somewhere in the last week of August. Okay, guys?
I'll record it soon. and
Yeah, I've been
publish it.
speaking about it for a long time that watch out for Komal Taya, man. Komal has even talked to a few of her followers who have been following for a long time, solving their issues.
Yes.
She's that dedicated towards you guys, so it's a good time to hit like and DM R Madhavan that we want him on our podcast as well.
Yes, just ask our Madhavan to watch our podcast.
Completely spam his DMs with Torq Fire. What do you say?
Yeah.
And then his DMs will be
Amount
spammed.
of views is equal to amount of DMs sent to our Madhavan.
And
We
then-
have to force him.
and
We have to make like some bots account or something to make him do this.
after this much effort, I think we would get like 20 DMs. That would be not sufficient because he got like millions of followers. Anyways.
Let's tag our Madhavan and let's see if he sees our story or not.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
the
See,
Instagram story.
if anyone should interview him, it should be me. But that
Yes.
does not happen.
You're the most authentic guy who should interview our Madhavan and Nambi sir also.
Yeah. But anyways, I need to start making clickbait so that I get famous very soon.
Yes, but nowadays clickbaits are not working because YouTube is smart. And as soon as this thumbnail hits, the YouTube start just the video.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
You
But-
can't see the thumbnail completely.
People are still going to click on clickbaits. I have a feeling about it because most
Just like mera fridge toot gaya.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
trending by the way.
People love knowing whose fridge got broken.
Yeah.
They love knowing how he fixed it.
People like drama, I feel. Speaking
People
of drama,
don't like reality.
Speaking of drama, people like Coffee with Karan also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, people don't like reality at all. Like why most people watch movie is give me a kick out of my real life. I don't want to live my real life right now, dude. I want to see a person who is beating the asses of 20 people. I'm feeling like I'm doing that. Oh, life is amazing for 3 hours. Now it's time to get back to my real life.
The proof is here. The revenue of Rocketry and the revenue of RRR or KGF.
Not fair
That
at all.
shows that people love drama.
Yep. And you cannot do anything about it, Komal, because this has been the reality and will remain our reality.
Yeah,
See, to
that
ex-
shows. Sometimes I feel that I'm zombie or something and I'm not a people person anymore.
No,
Earlier
no,
I
no.
used to be, but now I feel like I'm disliking everything nowadays. And
No.
everything sounds bullshit to me. Like, why is it happening?
You need to listen
Why
to
is
me,
like
Komal.
that?
No, hear me out. There are intellectual people who like good content.
So you are saying I'm intellectual?
Oh yeah, you definitely are. You're
Yeah.
doing Torq Fire podcast, which is pretty successful. And also, the news
Now
is
let's leave that up to our audience.
news is going to break very soon, end of August, when you're going to find out how intellectual Miss Komal Taya is.
No news can determine like the ranks or something. Nothing can.
Oh, by the way, she has not given gate examination.
Yeah.
Might
You
be
just think that I've appeared for some exam or something and I've cracked it with just flying colors.
That would have been such a loss. That shows how unintellectual you are, if that's a word.
Yeah, because we know the games. Of
After
exam, we're
having
out
a
of
good
it.
podcast, a good modeling career, if you need to go back and give examination and get a job, that's not success at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was saying something. Yeah. See, the majority has always been like this. You cannot really blame it.
But still, please watch Rocket.
No, out of the whole context of that,
Yeah.
it has always been like that. To get frustrated over that does not make any sense.
Controlling my nerves. I'm
yeah,
just learning how to control.
Have
my
you
nerves.
paid attention ever to the world where people go ahead for genocide and there's one leader who talks about religion and people go crazy? This world is filled with absurd shit. So you can't really expect enlightenment from majority. Never make that
I
mistake.
see a circle of enlightenment around you.
Thank
Can
you.
you see?
Yeah.
But I can see it like, and the light is just coming out of it like very shiny light.
Are you talking about this?
No.
Because that's a lamp.
Like I can see it.
Oh, I'm sure
Because you have reached the state of
I'm sure that
enlightenment.
our visual audience will see it because I'm going to edit it in. I'm pretty good at editing these days.
Yeah, you'll see it.
All right, Komal, shall we get into some other topic? By the way, guys, you need to support us on membership. That is on ashishranjan.com. We are going to post some extra exclusive content over there. Some segment of podcast which is going to come. By the way, there's a much more detailed review of this Rocketry movie on ashishranjan.com, but you need to be a member for that.
Yes.
But Komal, we had a
Copy-paste.
lot of other things that we needed to talk about. Do you want to get into it, or
For sure. I mean, like very cozy mood. And
you're not hungry?
No, because in this podcast I've eaten already. So now I'm completely full and I can just go on for hours.
Pro tip, guys. Komal gets happy when she eats.
Yeah, and I get cranky and I just keep sulking when I don't eat. Like even if I skip one meal, I'll just start getting irritated, and everybody will know, like the who are close to me, that she needs food.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even start crying.
Yeah, it gets that bad. So, what do you think about these people who are in relationship with one person and has a best friend as another person?
Best friend of what gender, Ashish? You need to specify that.
A girl who is having a boyfriend and also has a best friend. Or a boy who is goes like that.
So I'm assuming you are saying girl is having best friend of opposite gender, is it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, male best friend, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a long pause.
This is a dicey topic, and maybe like...
Why are you
it
worried?
just-
You're not running for office.
No, I'm just saying that it works differently for different people. And I think for me, best friends they don't exist. Like I feel like your partner is the one who is the most closest to you, and he's the one who is your best friend or somebody, like something, because partner is there to support you, to share things with you, and like that. And the best friend can be there, but if there is no wrong intentions, I feel. Sometimes I've seen like a lot of cases, 90% of cases, what happens, the girl breakups or the boy breakups with the girl. Yeah. So that breakup happens. I'll just say, because since I'm a girl, I'll just say that girl breaks up with boy. Then it will be like...
Just an example.
Yeah, just an example. Since I'm a girl, I'll take an example of girl. Fine. Though I believe in equality.
Okay.
So...
With that out of the way, yes.
Yeah, so for like if like the boy best friend doesn't have wrong intentions of getting into relationship with the girl, then it's fine. And if the boyfriend doesn't have any problem and they're clear on this, if they have their boundaries set on this, I think it can work. But most of the cases I've seen that it always messes up.
All of the cases that we have seen.
Most of the cases we can never generalize thing, Ashish.
All of the cases that we have seen. Have you seen any case that works like this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we are going to talk about it after podcast.
Ankit and Neelam.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that works. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's definitely been a case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
It perfectly works. And we know that it works.
Yeah.
There's
If
nothing
you have,
fishy
like,
over there.
If you have set the boundaries, if you know, and that other person is not in intention of, taking advantage of the situation where the girl is having maybe
Issues
low
with-
time or some issues with the boyfriend, then I think then it's something which you should avoid. And you'll start getting the intuition whether the best friend likes you or not. Like we can't be that dumb. We know that the boy likes or not, and for me, whenever that happens, I'll maintain the distance.
All right. So let us take an example where the boyfriend actually wants you to not have a best friend. What do? You dump him?
I think it's about the mentality the boy is having. But if the girl is making that clear to the boy that look, I'm in love with you, and you are my priority, and the boy, she also feels the boy does not have that wrong intentions of getting into relationship with her,
Okay.
then I think she should sit him down and should
Smack him.
no, not smack him, should make the things clear.
Okay.
And also, like, so what happens, Ashish, this is very controversial topic also. What happens that when you roam around with opposite gender, suppose the girl is roaming around with best friend like all the time, daily, spending like 10 to 12 hours together, I feel as a human being, feelings develop
Okay.
somewhere. If you're spending that much time, and at the same time your boyfriend is not there, maybe long distance or something, then it happens. Human nature, nothing to be wrong, nothing to be ashamed about, but you should be vocal about it and you should be clear about this to your partner also and to your best friend also. Look, this is the scenario. You should not hide anything. If you're honest about your feelings, and if you're honest to your boyfriend or whoever is associated to you through that maybe the dynamics, then I guess then that is fine. If you're hiding something, maybe playing games with the best friend and maybe friend zoning him or something, and also playing with your boyfriend,
that is a very extreme level. But even if you know that who's your boyfriend or who's your best friend and it is very clear for you, but still if you're hiding few things from your boyfriend, like he might be offended because of this, then that is really wrong. Like there should be nothing hidden, everything should be transparent, right?
Yeah, and coming to your question again, that if the boyfriend doesn't like the best friend, then I think if the girl is clear, if the girl's priority is his boyfriend, her boyfriend.
Obviously, we are considering that it's not a time
and the
pass.
girl is true to her emotions, both to the best friend and to the boyfriend as well, then I guess there's nothing to be afraid of, and the girl should sit the boyfriend out and should tell him, look, this is something, and I also like my best friend in the friend way, and I love you and like that, and if there is something fishy happening from that side, and I think then the distance should be maintained, because then what happens, then triangle happens. The boy will also start hurting that the girl is is having strong attachment to the boyfriend, and she's not coming to me, and we are not getting into some romantic zone or something. Then it becomes very cliche, and this I think everybody should respect that. First of all, no one should go after someone who is into relationship.
Yeah,
you should respect that. If you're going with intention of that, I can take advantage
cause a breakup,
of maybe I can take advantage of the situation where the things are not good between the couple, then
or some boys just wait for the situations to go bad, right?
Yeah. Some people, like lot of people
wait around.
Lot of people does that.
I've got time.
So I think you should be clear and you should be honest. If you feel something red signals coming from the best friend side also, you should clear it out to him, and if it's still not listening to you, maintain the distance.
By the way, girls also do this, like they keep the best friend as the backup. A lot of girls do that as well. It's not always the fault of the guy. She will always show hope to the guy.
Guys, whatever I'm saying is also applicable to the other side also. The only thing is it will just lengthen the statements, whatever I'm just throwing right now, and just think vice versa also.
Yeah. But these days there are like thousands of different genders.
But still, I know like 1 to 2 comments will be there who will be saying, why do you always consider a girl would be doing that? A best friend who is a boy will be doing that. So just listen to the whole conversation and say that I am saying on the both sides. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for clearing that out, Miss Komal Taya.
What's your take on it then?
What's my
Are you satisfied with my take?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. See, what I would do is, if I get an ultimatum like this, see, if a girl is saying that, no, I really don't want you to be spending that much time with her at all. It's not, I'm very amateur in this level, I'm agreeing, but I feel bad and I cannot help it. Maybe you can give me some time, but right now it's not gonna work out. So what I'll do is just start increasing distance with best friend.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her as well, like, no, see, this girl
But
is important
then
for me.
won't it be like the boyfriend or girlfriend is taking too much charge of your life?
It's okay. Yeah, if you see, this is another thing. Relationship is not a power game.
Yeah, but
Who's
if that
having more
person
power?
is throwing that much power,
Yeah. So see, I have two options now.
if the person is honest,
I don't like the power. All right. I don't like your dominance, and I don't like you playing these games. I have always got an option to walk out, right? Did I break up with her? No. So I want to be with her, and then also I understand that it might be a limitation for her right now. What if it's a first relationship and it's not convenient for her at all, right? So I'll just tell my friends, see, this is the case. And if my friends are, hey, you are not going to spend time, dude, this is what friends do. Friends understand and help me out.
Yeah.
So if you are not able to do it, there's some fishy in your side.
Yeah, what if the girl is having normal friend also?
Normal friend? Yeah, friend,
Not the
friend.
best-
Yeah,
the
best
best
friend.
friend kind of thing,
When I
like-
say best friend is like, yeah, you share everything. You have secrets and all those things. You grew up together, things like that, right? So that is best friend. Normal friends, nobody can have a problem. Like, you should not have a friend of opposite gender or something like that. So
What if the person, suppose a girl just grew up with a boy, or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
boy grew up with a girl?
Yeah, that's best case scenario. Yeah.
and
Sorry,
they are
best friend.
friends,
Best
and
friend.
they're best
scenario.
friend, and the boy or girl gets into a relationship, and the partner is having problem with the other best friend. Then what should be done in that
Here's the
case?
thing. Not only best friends, this happens with parents as well, right? You spent a lot of time with your parents growing up, right? After you're married and after you're in a relationship, you'll be spending more time with your partner or not. That is
Yeah,
true, right?
yeah.
That always happens. You'll go visit your parents as well. You'll talk to them as well.
Yeah.
But you'll still have few things that you'll only share with your partner. So
Yeah.
that is your life partner, correct?
Yeah, that's true. But
So you
whether-
have to
should
give
the
that.
should the partner completely boycott the best friend because the
Not boycott, but I'll say that, see, you're now going to be just a friend. You're not going to be the best friend, which is having a special place. Because a lot of people have this thing like, I'm special for you. There's a place for me, right? I need that special attention, or I need that care. Is there equivalent someone else in your life like that? So that happens. That might be funny, but that happens a lot. And if that is the person that you're in love with, don't you think you can always talk to them? But if that person says that, okay, I'll understand and it might take some time for me, then won't you give her that time?
Yeah.
That is also unfair, right?
what?
What are you going to do? Are you going to break up with that person? So if you really see long, what if you say that, see, you need to understand that there's no feeling over there.
Yeah,
And
if the person is honest about the feelings, look, there's nothing fishy over here, and
Yeah.
you are misunderstanding or something. But
Yeah.
if you still want, then maybe that person can create the distance with
see,
the best friend. In that
ideally, obviously, that person should understand. There's no problem in that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that what if it's an ultimatum and that person does not understand? That's the worst case scenario. That's what
that
I'm
means
talking about.
then your priorities are not matching and your mentality is not matching. Maybe you should.
So you
just-
should break up.
Yeah,
right?
maybe you should just.
Yeah, that
because
is-
that thing is gonna come up again and again.
Yeah.
And that means you're having mentality clash. Either you can settle on that. That okay, you can just find the middle ground somewhere. Like okay, half things yours, half things mine.
Yeah.
Right. So depends on how badly you want
See,
your
one
relationship
thing
or
I'll
how
say-
badly you want your relationship with the best friend. Simple.
See, obviously you can break up and you can split. Okay, that is always one option. And this kind of ultimatum power game is mostly going to end up with that only. Okay, but what if it is not? What if that person genuinely likes you, kind of an introvert, and wants to have just one person that he is close with or she is close with, depending on the situation, right? And he needs the attention. Okay, so what I always feel is that anything that you are doing, if your partner is having problem with that, I think you should stop doing that or stop living with that person. Because if you keep on living with that person and keep on doing the thing that hurts her, I think it's going to be a problem.
But what if she she or he genuinely likes the person as a best friend only and is very much serious about the relationship?
That's it. That's what I'm saying. in your life, there's one person who is most important for you.
Yeah, but for that you can't just do that, no? If the person is most important, suppose if I say my mother is most important to me,
Yeah.
then I won't be, cutting down on a relationship with other people. I would maintain the balance, but there is a thing that I'd be close to my mother and I'll share everything with my mother.
Yeah.
But there would not be things like, okay, you don't talk to that
But
person.
Komal, see, that is the extreme situation that we are talking about. You're never as close to your mother as a grown-up as you are to your partner. That does not happen. Anybody who says that is complete speaking out trash. Never happens. Once a person is in his 30s or 40s, that person is not as close to his mother as he is to his wife or girlfriend. That does not happen.
I don't know. I partly agree on that.
Closeness means like you're spending as much time with that person. And when I say best friend has almost an equal position as your partner. The way that you are saying, no, best friend is important, right? My boyfriend is also important, right? And almost that is the problem with the partner, that partner sometimes thinks that person is equally important.
Yeah.
So how can you have an equal?
Obviously the person who is in middle now
Yeah.
has to give some assurance to the partner who is feeling, insecure right now. Then that person should make the other person sit down and just talk about things.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
see, that is something that some partners will have problem with. And that is what I'm ultimately saying. That is an extreme situation, right?
Yeah, I think it's all comes down to one point, that how badly you want your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, people do crazy shit for their relationships. This is nothing. Decreasing conversation with your best friend is nothing. He's still going to remain your best friend.
Yeah.
It's just that you're spending more time with your partner.
Yes. Not saying like cutting down the entire, relations you had, just giving more priority to your boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. We got back to the same concluding point, right? It's a very complicated situation. Obviously, it will be
It
different.
depends on every situation.
Yeah.
We don't know like what is the kind of situation over here.
Yeah.
How the boy or girl is feeling, or how the partner is feeling, how much partner is serious, or how much the girl or boy is serious over here.
Yeah.
Or how much the best friend, the
See,
intensity.
ultimately, if you're honest in a relationship, I don't think that there will be any problem. Most people fuck up their relationship because they just start hiding things and they're not honest. And that's where...
If you are honest, everything should be fine.
Yeah.
And if
I
the
think
other
that-
partner still throws tantrum, then leave that person.
Yeah. So, see, if you're completely honest, I don't think anyone in this world will give you that kind of ultimatum. That does not happen.
Yeah.
Like if that person is so close to you, and that's again, the cases are completely different. If you met that person 2 weeks ago and now she's saying that, hey, don't talk to that girl. What the fuck? Who are you? So that's where you need to make a decision.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So that's more than sufficient for this podcast. I think, Ms. Komal Taya, thank you for enlightening all of us. I see a ring around your head as well. Also,
This one or this one?
I don't know, whichever one you like, because
This one I like.
I can consult you
blessed one.
while editing.
This one is the one
All right, you'll get the
where
halo.
you are a blessed one, and this one is the one where you have become saint.
Which one do you want? Halo one. You got it. Guys, you can see it now. Okay, battery is going to run out. Guys, auto speaking is out. You need to register right now. You are also going to get a 15 days extra. If you register right now, it is going to be released very soon. You don't want to keep on waiting for that. Go on the website right now and check out how well it is now developed. Auto speaking has changed a lot in the past 2 years, and now we are releasing the second season. It's going to be a big one, well-made platform. Everything is sorted out. Live sessions are there as well for you to be in personal touch with me. Limited number of people so that I know each and every one of you and work on each and every one of you in a personal level, individual level.
Yeah, you
Don't
see
miss
your
it out.
boy is embarking on a new journey,
Yeah.
and is gonna nail that too.
It's a big one, guys. It's a big one. I've worked hard and I've worked long on this one. And if you really want to improve your speaking, because that's what we do, we work on results, you need to get this as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to end it, and I'll see all of you, and Komal will see all of you in the next one. We are going to do it more regularly from now on, hopefully.
Yeah, we are relatively free now.
Okay, guys. Bye. see you next time. I see that you have lost the video already. Komal, you can say the bye-byes because the audio is still recording.
Bye, take care, and keep smiling. Maybe we just put our thumbnail in the last. That we are thankful, we are grateful for your love and support always. Still, you don't complain anything about that. Why are we not regular or something like that? Thanks, and big hug to all of you. Until then, take care, keep smiling, and bye.
All right. See you next time. Bye.